Hi everyone, my name is Katie Monaco. I am a registered nurse and nursing student at the Indiana State University, and this is my health education program for Nursing 444 Community Health Nursing on the global problem of childhood obesity. At the end of this presentation, you will be able to define childhood obesity, explain how obesity is measured in children, identify factors contributing to an increased risk of overweight and obese children, recognize characteristics associated with obesity, understand the connection between socioeconomic status and childhood obesity, identify long-term health consequences of childhood obesity, and lastly, explain best practice interventions for preventing childhood obesity within the family and community. Before we begin, please click the link provided below to take the 10-question pretest. Did you know 40 million children under the age of 5 were considered to be overweight or obese in 2018? 18.5% of children ages 2 to 19 are obese. Worldwide obesity has tripled since 1975, and children from lower socioeconomic status communities are more likely to be obese and come from families with obesity. Lastly, previous studies have found a correlation between education levels and prevalence of obesity. That is, the higher level of education one has achieved is associated with a decreased prevalence of obesity. So what is childhood obesity? Childhood obesity is defined as a multifactorial medical condition that affects children and teenagers between the ages of 2 and 19. It is an unhealthy weight trajectory where height and weight change disproportionately as children developed. This results in an abnormal accumulation of body fat that may negatively impair their health. Obesity may be caused by an energy imbalance between the calories consumed and calories expended, as well as an unhealthy diet and sedentary lifestyle associated with decreased physical activity. Childhood obesity is also associated with changes in dietary and physical activity patterns as a result of one's environmental and societal influences. Childhood obesity may be evident based on signs or characteristics such as one's physical appearance, to include stretch marks on their hips and abdomen, a velvety appearance to their skin, fatty tissue deposition in the breast area, as well as psychological symptoms such as poor self-esteem, or the child may be a victim of bullying as a result of his or her appearance. Pulmonary issues may be present, which may be displayed as shortness of breath during physical activity or at rest. The child may have gastrointestinal issues to include reflux, heartburn, or constipation. And overweight and obese children may also experience irregularities in puberty as they develop. In girls, this is associated with early puberty and irregular menstrual cycles, and in boys, this is associated with delayed puberty. And lastly, overweight children may have orthopedic irregularities such as flat feet, hip dislocations, and knock knees. So how is obesity determined in children and adolescents? Children between the ages of 2 and 19 are classified based on measurement of body mass index, or BMI. BMI is calculated by measuring their weight in kilograms and height in meters squared. Calculating BMI in children also factors in their sex and their age. It is listed as a percentage indicating their one's BMI in relation to that of other children of the same age and sex. Therefore, a child is considered to be obese if their calculated BMI is at or greater than the 95th percentile for average children of the same age and sex. So what are some risk factors for children to develop obesity? As stated in the beginning of this presentation, childhood obesity is a complex and multifactorial medical condition. Therefore, some risk factors for developing childhood obesity can include biological factors, behavioral factors, social, psychological, environmental factors, as well as one's socioeconomic status. For the purpose of this health education program, previous studies suggest that one's race and ethnicity plays a role in the nation's increasing problem with childhood obesity. However, more recent studies suggest that low socioeconomic status has a greater influence on the increasing rates of childhood obesity, and low-income communities face a handful of barriers and challenges to improving health statuses of children within their socioeconomic community. So why is childhood obesity becoming a community health problem? Well, the findings from previous research, together with the recent statistics and data regarding childhood obesity rates, as mentioned in the beginning of this presentation, we can see how childhood obesity has quickly become one of the most serious public health challenges of the 21st century. It is a global problem with increasing prevalence occurring in the United States. Specifically, this means there is an increase in the obesity-associated comorbidities seen in children between the ages of 2 and 19. Furthermore, obese children are more likely to become obese adults, facing a lifelong physical and mental health problems, which ultimately results in the increased risk for compromised health and increasing healthcare costs. So, tailoring off the previous slide about lifelong physical and mental health issues, the image on the right here is provided by the Heart Foundation, which shows the unfortunate trend and cycle of how one's environmental influences and lifestyle choices can negatively impact and influence the health of an otherwise healthy individual over the course of childhood and into adulthood. Eventually, at the end of the cycle, we can see how such influences result in an obese adult facing long-term health conditions. Some examples of these long-term health consequences include high blood pressure and cholesterol, an increased risk for insulin resistance leading to diabetes, breathing problems, joint and musculoskeletal discomfort, continued gastrointestinal issues, anxiety and depression, as well as low self-esteem and reported lower quality of life. So what can we do to prevent the increasing problem of childhood obesity? Typically, public health and community health interventions tend to be behavior-oriented by treating underlying health behaviors in order to address chronic health conditions. However, racial health disparities most commonly are a result of unhealthy personal behaviors combined with structural inequalities within one's social and environmental surroundings. Collectively, these factors significantly impact many individuals and families in the community and therefore hinder their ability to live a healthy lifestyle. As a result, interventions for preventing childhood obesity must be population specific. By nature, we know that children model the activity and behaviors of their surroundings, specifically family members. So, in low-income communities where childhood obesity is more prevalent, it is therefore essential to include caregivers and family members in prevention efforts, given the strong influence the family environment has on shaping children's dietary, nutrition, exercise, and healthy lifestyle behaviors. As a parent, you may be wondering what you can do to help your child from becoming overweight and obese. Some tips here include balancing the calories your child consumes from foods and beverages with those used through physical activity, helping your children learn food awareness by encouraging healthy eating habits, such as providing plenty of fruits, vegetables, and whole grain products, including low-fat or non-fat dairy options, choosing lean meats, serving reasonably sized portions, and encouraging your family to drink water over juices and sugary beverages. So, in addition to encouraging healthy eating habits, parents can help their kids keep active by encouraging at least 60 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity each day. Physical activity has various health benefits, including burning and balancing calories to assist with weight management as well as strengthening their bones. It results in lower blood pressure, lowering stress and anxiety, and increasing their self-esteem. And remember that children like to imitate adults, so you can start by adding physical activity to your daily routine and encourage your kids to join it. And lastly, help your kids keep active by reducing the amount of time spent on TV, video games, laptops, iPads, and iPhones to a maximum of 2 hours per day. For more resources on how to help with healthy eating choices, you can visit myplate.gov. MyPlate offers science-based advice to help parents and kids build healthy meals and dietary changes in order to maintain or achieve a healthy weight and lifestyle. Now that my presentation is complete, please visit the link provided below to show me what you have learned by taking the 10-question post test.